एक दिन तुम मर लोगे ना तो तब तुम्हारे बारे में लोग अच्छा बात करने चाहिए. So I think that was Mum for us, the platform that so-called launched me, right? Like, although I had done work before, Sacred Games changed everything for me. Somebody called me and said, "Oh, your life has changed." I said, "No, yeah, Didi, your life is still the same. Your career has changed. I have no advice, so to speak. I'm still learning, yeah. And I don't think that what I did can apply to someone else, and what someone else did can apply to me. Like when I came here, right, to Bombay, there was Sandhya Mridul, the sister of Rani Mukherjee in Satya. I was like, oh, I want to be her.
So hey everyone, welcome to midday.com, and we have a very special guest joining us for Women's Day. It's Kubbra Sait. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
And we're really happy to have you. Of course, we've been watching your wonderful work across platforms, OTT and film. So first, let's start with your growing up years. You've had a very strong influence in your life. Your mom, who's raised you, and she also went on to become your momager. So how did that happen? Please tell us about her influence in your life.
I think Mom is a very, very strong person, and I think she went through her list of adversities before she became a mother. And I think that became her most important duty, to raise her children well, to
Yeah.
make sure that we are independent. I think more than that, she kind of put that entire ownership on me, because there has never been a pressure from her end, like you need to get married, or you need to do this, or you need to do that, and this is right and that is wrong. I think in general, the idea was when you die an honorable death. So whatever you're doing is not today's plan, it is long game plan. बॉस एक दिन तुम मर लोगे ना तो तब लोगों से मतलब तो तब तुम्हारे बारे में लोग अच्छा बात करने चाहिए types. So I think that was Mum for us. She was a very, very important influence while growing up. And creative, ambitious. She went on to become an entrepreneur herself. She was the one who was running the house, the household. So there's lots that went on over there. And then I think midlife crisis hits everybody, and it's real, wherein you are deciding for yourself as to what you want to do with your life. And it's not necessarily the easiest thing, because you think you have the answers to everything. And but then the older you grow, I think the lesser answers you have. But like the questions pile up. And I think when I met my mom at that point in life, is when I said, hey, why don't you come and, take a look at these papers? And she very freely flowed into the role and the job title of momager. And she started managing us, and she treated us like products on the shelf. And she understood that यहाँ पे दिखना चाहिए, वहाँ पे दिखना चाहिए, अब प्राइस बढ़ाना चाहिए, अब ये ऐसे बात करना चाहिए, I need to do this. And I thought it was quite amazing for all the years that she handled our work. But then as we grew, we also had to grow out of the momager and artist relationship that we had. So we went professional, and now my mom is doing what she wants to do. So I think it was not the easiest thing for her to like help us and then try to help herself. But I guess life keeps throwing curveballs at us, and if you keep reinventing yourself, that's pretty much the one job that we have in life. So if we keep doing it, I think we're in a good space.
And of course, both you and your brother Danish are, popular faces today. But I'm sure you had to work your way up. Like you don't really have those kind of connections in the industry. So how was it for both of you all really during that phase where you all were still making a name for yourself?
I think neither my brother or I take credit for each other. But when we are supporting each other, we are very passionately supporting each other. I remember taking my phone and turning on YouTube and making people listen to his prank calls all over Bombay and say, this is what you got on your WhatsApp. This is it. This is my brother. So I think in that sense, we've been each other's cheerleaders for a very, very long time. But being the eldest sister, although I started earlier than him and took that leap of faith, I don't think I can take any credit for the person or the artist that he is. And he is who he is because of the choices that he made. And I think that accountability is really important in any relationship, where you can tell the person you love that hey, do you think you can do this differently? But at the same time, you can also be like, dude, that was great. So I think that's the kind of camaraderie we share amongst ourselves, and it's just the greatest feeling ever.
And of course, your big break was Sacred Games. And back then, people didn't even know that OTT would be, this big as it is today. So how did you
Yeah,
kind of take that leap of faith and,
we were the OGs of OTT. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Sacred Games changed everything for me. I didn't even realize. And I remember somebody called me and said, oh, your life has changed, right? After Sacred Games. And I was like, and before I could answer, my brother said, no, yeah, Didi, your life is still the same. Your career has changed, but your life is still the same. I thought that was very wise of him to say. But, there are certain things that you do that outlive you. And I think the character of Cuckoo is that it's going to outlive me. And I have so much to be grateful for. I have so much gratitude towards Anurag Kashyap, towards Nawazuddin Siddiqui, towards the platform that so-called launched me, right? Like, although I had done work before, it's truly OTT, truly the platform that believed that I could go and deliver this and catapulted me into that space. After that, what I did with it is entirely my responsibility. But the fact that I had so many people rooting for me and believing that I could pull that off,
Yeah.
wow, that was a great opportunity. And I'm very, very grateful for it.
But today, when you see the popularity, the biggest stars are coming to OTT and it's grown like never before. So, how does that feel, being among one of the first who was were part of it in India?
I don't know, yeah, if it's ever a race. Is it a race really? Like, I did this first, you did this second, I did this third. I don't think there's anything of that kind.
Yeah.
It's really like the stories that interest me. Are they being told on different various platforms? Great, then I'm going to be a part of it. Is there a person or a team that I want to genuinely work with? It doesn't matter what platform they're on. And I think the fact that everything slowed down and we were living with ourselves during the pandemic, and we reached out to our television sets to motivate us, to inspire us, to make us laugh, to make us cry. We needed those stories. And I think those stories paved the way for our sanity and for our relief in whatever way. And that's why art and storytelling and this medium is so important. It doesn't matter whether you released on a Friday in a movie theater or you released on a random Monday on an OTT platform. The idea is your story relevant and do you want to tell your story? And if you do want to tell your story and you honestly stand by it, I'm sure there is a viewer for it. And I think that's what leads the way.
And I'm sure there's a lot you learned from your own journey, and there are women who are looking forward to be where you are, taking inspiration from your journey. So, what is it that you would tell anybody who comes to you for some advice or how to make it in the industry?
I tell them, let's have coffee. I have no advice, so to speak. I'm still learning, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that what I did can apply to someone else and what someone else did can apply to me. But I mean, if they are interested, then I'm very happy to share the journey. And to be honest, I think we need to stop taking ourselves so seriously. Oh my God, it's a one scene in a film. It is, who's going to give you that scene if you didn't do it?
True.
Do that one scene, but do it well, and you'll be remembered. And I don't think anyone better than Nawaz to like vouch for that fact, right? Like till today, you have that scene from Sarfarosh being played over and over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
Then you were in that scene. So I think it's really important because you can lie, but the camera won't because it'll catch your lies. And it's really important for you to own that moment that you have on that screen, even if it's for a second. And yeah, sometimes progress, sometimes results are delayed, but that doesn't mean you're denied of it.
Yeah.
And you need to have patience with yourself and you need to tell yourself that, hey, I woke up again this morning and I have something else to achieve today. I think the most important thing about being in this business is that you need to be prepared for a majority of no's before you can hear the minority of yeses. So just be prepared for that. Nobody's going to come and say, Acha, you're qualified. Let me give you this job. Nobody cares about your qualification. they've got a lot of other permutations and combinations and algorithms that are in place and in function to make their job run. And you are just a cog in the wheel. If you realize that, I think the world becomes healthier for you. And I think the lower your expectations, the higher your rewards.
And a lot of women actors, from the new generation especially, are paving the way to make bigger and better projects than compared to before. So, what do you feel about that as well? Like it's of course something commendable that you guys are.
I think it's amazing that these kind of stories are being written. And you have women who aren't afraid to show that they are a mess. We've got women who aren't afraid to show that they're flawed because we are and we own it. And I think it's been too long that we've been prim and proper and calm and composed and polite and kind. And well, this is what we look like. This is our hair. This is our, this is our journey. I think we're pretty much done with that. If we all look at our journeys more individualistically and we look at it independently, then I think we all would be happy with where we've come and where we are going. Also, it's such a great time because we don't have the quintessential formula where there's one good guy, one bad guy, one pretty girl. One mother, one sister, one best friend. No, yeah, the storytelling format has changed. And we're so excited to be telling these stories. You've got mothers, you've got young mothers, you've got older mothers, you've got really like for me, I remember like when I came here, right, to Bombay, there was Sandhya Mridul who had just played the sister of Rani Mukherjee in Satya. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be her. Like, I want to be her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There have been these incredible actors before the time that we're talking about, and they're just incredible actors who got noticed for the little time that they spent on screen. They were feisty, they had personality. And I think today personality is so much more important than just the overall upar se physicality, And I think we're owning our personalities. We're loud, we're not afraid. We're brash, we aren't afraid. Whether it's Ravina Tandon making a comeback or whether it's Sushmita Sen, coming in season 2 of Arya, or Tapsi coming out with 6 films in the last year. There are so many great stories. So it isn't age limited. It's not limited to the film background that you came from or family background that you came from. There's so many stereotypes, so to speak, that are just being shattered.
It was lovely talking to you as usual. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks, Natasha.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.